The first thing to write down is the word ratio.
So excited.
A ratio, children, is a comparison between two numbers. And a good example of that would be the ratio of boys to girls in 6th grade. Well, here is the deal. What you must understand is this. It's very important. The order is very important. The question as to boys to girls. And there's 3 different ways to write ratios. One of them is just to put that word to there. For example, how many boys are in 6th grade?
11. 12.
Oh boy. So there's 12 boys to how many girls?
13.
13. 25 in the class. That makes sense. This is one way to write it. Another way to write it is, instead of writing the word to, we put a colon there. 12 to 13. But the most common way we write ratios is in fraction form, and it is 12 to 13. Now we don't say 12/13ths when it's a ratio, we say 12 to 13. This is the most common way we say that. But you have to remember, the one given first has to go on top, so order is important. If I flipped it around and I said the ratio of girls to boys, that would be the same numbers, except the girls would have to be the number on top and the boys would be on bottom. Or if I said, what about this? See if you can figure this out. What is the ratio of boys to 6th graders? What fraction would that ratio be? Well, how many boys are there? How many 6th graders are there?
25.
Yeah, it's 12 to 25, and girls would be 13 to 25. Now, we're not stopping with that because we are taking one step farther. We are also going to talk about, and you can put this under the same thing, the word rate. And the reason we put rate under ratio is because rate is a ratio. Usually when you talk about something in rate, there's a couple different ways to do it. We usually put it over time. Well, here's some common ones the book gives you. Okay. Rate can be distance over time. And an example of that is, when you talk about how fast your car goes, you say it is going 60 miles per every 1 hour. This is a rate. Or if you go to a store and you look at the little tags underneath the stuff you're buying, you know what they tell you? They tell you how much money you are paying over how many ounces you get. You're comparing money to ounces, which it could be, your cereal is 15 cents per ounce. Or another one they give you is how much, did your parents ever talk about the gas mileage in their car?
Yes.
And how bad it is because they're driving a big SUV? That is, gas mileage is given in the number of miles you go over how many gallons you use. Or we sometimes call it MPG. Or distance, this one is miles per hour, this is miles per gallon. Let's say your car is getting 25 miles per gallon. Is that good or bad? You think it's good? I don't know. So, here is an example with rate. Okay? Now sometimes, usually when we talk about rate, we always want a bottom number of 1 because it just makes more sense to us. Okay, but if you take a trip in your car went, or your chair went, your car went 300 miles and it used, I don't know, no, let's say it used 10 gallons of gas. If I asked you for your mileage or miles per gallon, okay, I still make that fraction, and it's a ratio, it's miles over gallon. You went, God bless you, it's 300 miles over 10 gallons. But when we talk about this, we don't usually leave it like that because it just makes it harder for us to understand. It's not easy like 25 miles per gallon. 300 miles per 10 gallons is a little harder to understand. But we can make it simpler by doing what? A fraction is nothing more than a glorified division problem. If you want to make this simpler to understand, we divide 10 into 300. Anybody know what 10 into 300 is? 30, and that is, we go 30 miles for every 1 gallon. It's a lot like just reducing the fraction. Divide this by 30, divide this by 10, divide this by 10. We talk more about this, 30 miles per gallon. It's easier for us to understand than whatever. Or if Bob went 275 miles in, I don't know, maybe 15.
Ferrari.
Let's say he went 25 miles in 5 hours. And if I asked you for his speed, well, speed is given in miles per hour, but we don't say he went 25 or 275 miles in 5 hours. We actually do that division, and we want to know how far he goes for every hour. So you take your 275 and you divide it by 5. And Bob is cruising right along at 55 miles per hour. We're going to speed limit. Nice job, Bob. 55 mph. And mph means the same thing as 55 miles, fraction line, 1 hour. That's what they're talking about. When they talk about ratios and speeds, one more example. It says a 4-quart container of milk, a 4-quart milk container, this is old because milk is really cheap right now, costs $2.48. How much is it per quart? How would you figure that out? Victoria, it's just
Dividing.
yeah, you're just dividing because you want to know 4 of them cost that. You want to know how much just 1 cost. So it's 248 divided by 4, which is looks like 62 cents per quart. Gotta love that. 62 cents per quart. Perfect. I believe that'll get you home the old rate/ratio.